I will probably forget. You could animate a materials and make it transparent as it burns down instead. That's probably what I would have to do. That's probably what I'm thinking I would do. The only problem is the top face for the fuse. How would we go about, like, I guess we could, at the very end, we could just scale it down. Or scale it in. Probably find a way of making that work. Use the physics rope for the fuse for shits and giggles. Now that's psychotic. This game is definitely not going to run well on anybody's fucking computer if we do that. You guys think that's too many? Yeah, that's too many. This is a friendslop game, not a fucking high poly ass game. I kind of have to remind myself of that sometimes. I textured this and I was like, maybe this is too much detail. I was like, maybe this is too much. You know? For a game being friend sloppy, we out here like adding maybe a little bit too much details. We doing a little bit too much detail. You have a particle effect attached where it's burning that should cover the gap. Yeah. Only problem is if we have a material going along the fuse, we have to match the rope burning versus the particle effect. That'll be very interesting. Fuck the whatever. Screw it. Who cares? Who cares about that detail anyways? Who cares about that detail anyway, right? Just do a stick of dynamite with a clock? Yeah, but a ball is funnier. A ball is funnier, is it not? I feel like it's funnier. I don't really like the smoothing, this being a separate thing. I kind of wanted to be a part of it. But it is definitely going to fuck up the smoothing of this if I do what I'm about to do, which is this. You ever see a man do something as psychotic as this? Ever see a psychopath do something like this before? I'm actually surprised. The new Blender snapping stuff, I don't know, like there's something improved about it. Because it stays along where you want it to, which is awesome. It works really, really well, actually. It's the most unhinged shit I've ever seen. What do you mean? This is fine. Dude, you don't understand. This is fine. Look at this. Just for me to sharpen the bottom of it. No, we're not going to sharpen it. We're going to bevel it. I'm just recognizing getting 10K points is taking ages. Being a subscriber gets you more points. Just saying. I'm just saying. BTTV has a setting where it can auto claim. It can auto claim the little chests or whatever they are. The fuck? Dude, weighted normals does not look good on this thing. And then you still complain about the push-ups? Man, can a man not complain? Come on, man. Listen. Just like right now. puke out my oats. I'm trying to go slower because I just ate and I really don't want my food to go outside of my stomach. Guys, can't we somehow organize like 100 push-ups? No. Let's not do that. What do you say are the most important things to get out of the way when starting working on a game? Do you have any systems you go by vibes? It really depends on the game. I think it really depends on the game. But that being said, one could argue that I'm not working on the most important elements of this game either. So honestly, I don't think I'm the best person to ask that question. Just due to the nature of how I work. Have the fuse a zipper mesh. The particle effect at the tip. Have the fuse descend into the mesh. So the particle effect is inside. And then destroy the bomb actor. Yeah. We'll figure it out. For now, let's just get it in the game. And then we'll figure out all the little details. But it's a fun little problem to think about. It do be a fun little problem. By the way, I absolutely hate how the default Bezier looks like this. Why can't you just be a normal straight fucking line coming out of the top? Like, why do you gotta be this like weird fucking shape? Why does it have to be a weird shape? Can you change the default of the Bezier curve to be not shit? You're golden. Like why does this have to be the default? Why can't it just be a straight line? I really gotta say, I really dislike the fact that it starts like that. I gotta say, that's just like unnecessary for it to start like this. Unless there's a way for me to change that. Is there a way to change the default Bezier? Blender, change Bezier default to straight line. All of these solutions are stupid, as you would expect from the Blender community. Just deal with it. Just deal with it. It's a free software after all. It's a free software after all. No, don't do this to me. A simple geometry node setup for only 20 nodes would do the trick. Here's my breakdown. Yeah? Alright. That looks... Yes. A little higher. Yes. Don't look at me like that. Yeah. Okay, I gotta remember how to do this. Extrude. Oh, fuck. That's not it. Offset. That's not it. Maybe it is extrude. Huh? Mm-mm. Eh? Uh-uh. Huh. Ah. Ah. Yes. Mm. Mm. Eh. Whatever. Just do it like this. I have mine been waiting for the right moment. Man, you guys are such psychopaths, man. Nice Christmas ornament. Oh, so you're making a Christmas ball. No, it's a bomb. It's a fucking bomb, man. It's a bomb. In a video game. A video game bomb. This fuse, now that I think about it, is a little too long. We gotta remember, we want this thing to blow up real quick. Oh, shit. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, we might have it. I might have the design. I might have the design. Yes. 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 Okay, now it's just a little too high resolution. Okay, it's a little too low resolution. Okay, we're all good. All is good. All is good. Still a little too thick. It's a little too thin now. It's just right. It's just fucking right. Okay. Turn this into a mesh. I'm gonna do some crazy shit. Turn this, convert this, convert. There it is. Probably shouldn't do that. Compare the polys on this to the handles of the suitcase. Dude, listen. No, it's fine. Dude, look at the look. Well, yeah. Whatever, man. Whatever. I probably could have reduced the resolution of this a little bit more. Now I think about it. All right. It looks like a plant. Well, perfect. It'll drop out and you won't do anything. You're just going to pick it up like nothing. And then it explodes in your face. Okay. Okay. Bomb. I have bomb. In game. Let's stop using that word. This is now a Christmas ornament. Let's just use the word Christmas ornament just to not, you know. Get a knock at the door. You know what I mean? I hope the fuse will burn down. Ideally, we would like to do that as an effect. We were just discussing that a while ago. But for now, we're just going to keep it simple. For now, we'll keep it simple. Just because, yeah. This thing's huge, by the way, which is great. Because, you know, we want it to be huge. Export. Patronus. All right. Exporto. I didn't unwrap it. Ah, fuck. Spline plus Niagara? Where's the way to go? We could be a psychopath and turn this into a rope. We could be crazy and turn it into a rope. Just saying, we could turn this into a rope and it could be all like flimsy and shit, you know what I mean? Nah. Nah. I'm not that crazy. Look at that. Watch a beauty, and then just give it a sphere. No, not like that. Oh, great. Oh, great. Oh, it's not centered. Close enough. Well, not really. Oh, kind of. Okay, so we got ourselves. Oh shit. We got ourselves our thing. Did I put this in progress? Hold on. This is not in progress. It is now in progress. I put it in the progress list. Yeah, Mayank, how's it going? Nice football bomb. It's a Christmas ornament. Should make it red? I'd probably texture it with like some stuff on it, but remember there's going to be an emissive at the top of it, and it's going to make a loud noise. And then explosion, and no one will even know what happened. I should be an absolute masochist and like make a ringing noise. I love when game devs add a ringing noise to their explosions in their game. A little tinnitus. A little bit of tinnitus never hurt anybody, right? Well, it might have, but you know. Let's see what it looks like when we just simulate physics on it. Let's see, let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at him roll. Although the only problem is the fuse. Add physics to the bomb fuse. Dude, I'm not that fucking crazy. Yes, you are. Well, well. Well. I kind of am. Well, actually, you may be onto something. Will it explode with fireworks? Yeah, of sorts. Of sorts. Fireworks of sorts. Of sorts. Like fireworks. Kind of. Sort of. Yeah. Yeah. Will it tear the train open on explosion? What do you think this is? Fucking Call of Duty? It might break a nearby maintenance object. We could always do that. Maybe cause a fire or two that you have to put out. You mean Battlefield? No, I feel like that... Well, yeah, I guess. Man, those franchises really... have kind of just fucking died, haven't they? I feel like they've, I don't know, to me I feel like they've died, but maybe it's just because I don't know, grew up, I guess. Can you eat it? Eat the bomb? I think it would be within everyone's best interest that I do not put that mechanic in. What do you want this to be, like Kirby? You're just eating everything? I take out a game. Forest Escape Last Train. No. What is it? It's got cannons and shit. Yeah, it just looks like the locomotive is kind of just there. This looks more along the lines of like Choo Choo Charles, I feel like. Yeah, more along the lines of like Choo Choo Charles. Honestly, there's a large likelihood that I regret that we have 90% of the game take place on just a train. There's a large likelihood. Although I think we can maybe do it. I think we might have to make the train feel more extravagant, like give it like multiple levels and shit, you know what I mean? Maybe even make it larger. Watch this. Damn it, watch this. Damn it, watch this. Never mind, whatever, just put it in. I thought 90% was at the basketball hoop. Yeah, in the current test demo of the game. God, my chest hurts. Might have to take a Tums. Why do people make so many train games? I don't know, I just had a random idea of making a train game. And now here we are. I also at one point had an idea for like a rally survival sloppy kind of game. Where you're like in a rally car trying to get away from like a void that's eating away the land. But I feel like a train is just kind of like a fun environment to go through. Maybe? I don't know, we'll see. Who knows, this could be one huge mistake. We're in. It only took 4 shots. I feel like it's the GTA effect. You make or get something, and then it feels like everyone does too. Oh, you mean like the effect of when you finally find that car that you've been looking for, and then all of a sudden they're spawning all over the place? Is that what you mean? Can this train take you to the city of GTA 6? No, man, you're just gonna have to wait for that one, brother. I can't tell you anything about that. You're gonna have to wait for that slop to release. Corporate slop. Corpo slop. I might want to make the train larger. Honestly, I'm thinking about it. Like, we might want to make, I don't know. Maybe not, because then like repairing the train would probably be an absolute pain in the ass. Trying to find where to go to repair things. Like, if anything, this is probably a good size. Hey, how are you, man? It's probably a good size, honestly. All things considered. Maybe we don't need to make it larger. I also have to consider we need to, like, wait until the monsters are in and everything, and then we can determine, like, the scale of the train is too large or too small. I feel like it's at a really good size right now. I just feel like it needs like a second floor or something. Like, I think we just need to make it taller. We might have to just make it taller, honestly. I feel like that's maybe what we need. I don't want you in here right now. I'm locking the door. I'm holding it tight. Get out of here. You're not allowed here. Get out of here. Stop. He's got nowhere else to go. That's kind of freaky. I'm gonna make this an element of the game. Like a monster's gonna try to get in, and you're gonna have to hold the door. Nope. You tried. Eat. You know what we might have to do in this case then? As you hold the door tight, maybe eat stamina. Ooh. Yeah. Putting any sort of resistance on an object eats up stamina. Stamina. Hey. Get out of here. Thank you. No. Whatever. How far back can you walk while holding the door? I think you can hold it infinitely. Obviously, that won't be what we do in the future, of course. This is like Elastigirl or whatever the fucking name is from The Incredibles. You know one thing that really sucks about Unreal? Because all of the actors are not physics-based, I can't like slam an object into the enemy and they kind of like bounce from it. They're all kinematic, which is kind of... I'm starting to understand why friendslop games are primarily doing really well just in Unity. It's the fact that it's like framework is built really well for this kind of structure of game. Like, sure, I could get some physics on these fucking guys, and I probably will. I'll make it so it's like if you slam an object into them fast enough and hard enough, then they'll just go ragdoll or something, but... I'm starting to understand why people lean into Unity for these kind of games. It's making sense. Making a lot of sense, actually. Like, even in the default character controller, pushing isn't really a thing that you can do. It's really funny. The GMC plugin just released a demo that has pushing. Which is really funny. Have I ever tried Unity? I tried Unity a long time ago. When I first started game development. But I didn't give it that long enough of a try. Have I tried the new Unreal character move component, Mover? No, I have not. I have not, because that's still in... It's either experimental beta at the moment. Mover might solve that issue. Mover might solve that issue. There might be like a more physics-based kind of movement system. Yeah, anyways, let's work on this Christmas ornament. I'm not putting a cable at the end of it. I really want to, but I'm not. Let's just make them... hold on. Everybody relax. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Now, the thing is, I don't want this to be a item pickup. However, the briefcase kind of selects. Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe we make it so instead of it picking items to spawn, maybe it could pick... Maybe it can pick the explosive. However, yeah, I guess you could do that. Instead of items, it just spawns the explosive. I think I'm cool with that. So it could just be a separate blueprint. Yeah. Yeah. I guess you don't want to do it because you don't know how? No. Our entire thing here is using the cable component. It's more so, is it worth the performance cost? Is it worth the performance cost? Now, albeit I haven't profiled the cable component yet, but I know it's probably not the cheapest thing in the world. Probably not the cheapest thing in the world. Reverse psychology failed. You could try. You can try. Had an aneurysm doing the cables. The cables weren't too bad. To be fair, it's not like the game's gonna have a lot of replicating instances. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to go overboard on replication or like replicating stuff, because I guess we could always find ways of scaling down, and either way that'll be a good learning lesson anyways to optimize stuff. But have I seen this friendslop game? We are so cooked. You and your friends are in trouble, big trouble. You accidentally killed someone. Physics stealth game, and the objective simply get the body to the exit. That's interesting. I feel like this might suffer the same problem that fuck, what was that fucking game called? The prison escape one that did not do well from the Choo Choo Charles dev. I feel like it might suffer from that problem because it's like, it seems very linear. Yeah, cuff bust. Cuff bust. Yeah. Has he updated the game? Like, I haven't heard anything of the game at all. Last update was in November. Yeah. Going by Crim's update schedule, November is dead game. Well, no, like how I see it is the game is in a critical state where it requires updates to like really, you know, push it into a healthier state. That's what I did with Super Hire, but albeit, you know, I guess different situation. Cuphead's a game that needs updates, a content game. Yeah, it's just, that's not a, the structure of the game is just not a good structure. It's almost, yeah, like you said, it's a game that just requires constant drip feeding of content, which is like just not a fun development cycle at all. Because at that point, you're making a fucking, like... You're making a live service game that's not even being paid as such. It's not... I assume he just moved on. I would probably assume so. Someone said that apparently he just wants to quit game development. I don't know like, if that's true at all. I have no clue, like... I guess maybe he just got burnt out. I don't remember what the topic was there. Never heard of that. I think it was in like a interview or something. Or yeah, podcast, sorry. It stopped being fun when he had to do everything himself and enjoyed the art part more. It's so funny because it's like I don't really... Like, I think the art part is chill, but it's also like frustrating because I can never make it like look good. I'd rather just work on systems and get frustrated at systems, to be honest. There's an MMO engine going cheap, lightly used. Ah, is it the same one that that one scam game died from? This looks sick. What's this? Oh, I saw this post. That looks cool. Have you seen that Toyota is releasing their own game engine? What? Toyota? What the fuck? He said something like that once the project was finished, whether it turned out well or badly, he wouldn't continue in game dev. Did he mention what he would end up doing? Life at the farm. Toyota releasing their own game engine. That's ridiculous. Fluoride. It's the shit they put in the water, man. The fluoride. All right, anyways, let's make a blueprint for this. I don't know how else to call this other than BP_bomb. Like how else? I don't know. Christmas ornament. BP_bomb seems descriptive. Honestly, like, how else am I supposed to name it? Like, seriously, like, I don't know how else I can name it. I don't know how else I can name it. Honestly, I really don't know. EP underscore, there's a bomb in your house currently. What? Excuse me? Mike Nolan mentioned in the Super Higher patch notes. Mike kind of helped me out with figuring out how modding works in Unreal. I still have to say though, it definitely seems like there's a bit more, there's, I don't know. That being said, I haven't looked into the way that modding for Unity works, but I feel like there's a larger barrier of entry, I feel like, with Unreal modding than there is Unity or Godot or whatever, which is really fucking annoying. Am I gonna allow modding in this game if I can figure out how to like facilitate it? Yeah, 100%. Hello, my friends. Is this CQZ? No. TUX KO team is already having layoffs. The game's been in 1.0 for less than a month. Neural modding is actually the easiest in my opinion. I think, you know what it could be? Maybe Unity just facilitates script kidding, being a script kiddie a lot more, you know? And it might just be that the file size of installing Unity or Godot is so much fucking smaller that maybe it just makes it easier for people to mod it. Like in the example of Blood Thief, I love the fact that he used a completely different like map system and people can just mod in maps in a really easy fashion. I think that's super sick. Just the way that like the import process and everything, super, super awesome. Yeah, you can use blueprints for Unreal modding. It's just a bit, from what I've seen, a bit awkward how it works. It's just a little weird. Like even just spawning a singular actor is a bit interesting. And then building lighting also really sucks. You essentially have to do that when you're creating levels. I'm sure that's going to probably ward off a few people that would want to mod. Yeah, I'd love to make it as easy as possible. Stop talking good about Unity, or 1 week from now you start talking about migrating the project to Unity? No, I'm going to be honest, guys. I literally don't know how I could... I have no idea how I could even switch game engines. I'm going to be real. Like, I physically do not know how I could even shift to a different game engine. You know what? I'm actually going to make it so this does not ownership change, and it's actually always on the server, just because of the way that this is going to function. Mike will take care of the mods. I took a look at some of those pages though to see how it works. I did do a little bit of research for sure. Like, I think if I were to do at least one thing, it would be to create a data asset that people can utilize to like put in their own cosmetics so they don't have to override stuff. That was one thing that I had on my list. And then, of course, a map loader. So another data asset that people can whip up to have their own maps so they can play their own maps. That would probably be the two things. But then the concern comes in spending all that time to put those things in, how many people would actually utilize that? Like, there's not even like that big of a, like, there is a player base, but it's not like huge. how many of those players would actually be interested in putting in like level mods and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that becomes part of the concern, of course. My main problem though with Suit for Hire doesn't even stem from modding. It's the fact that the game's design is very one-dimensional, which is part of my quarrels with Suit for Hire. A lot of the game is just shooting. Like that's it. Like that's all there really is to it. So it's like if you wanted to make another map that does something different, the game doesn't really facilitate too much of that necessarily, besides just shooting and punching shit. Are the cosmetics handled at the moment? If I remember correctly, data tables, which is not great for modders. If I did data assets, that probably would have been fine. But they are unfortunately run through a data table. They are unfortunately run through a data table. So like what I'm thinking I would probably do. The thing is, most people doing modding right now, they've been modding an entire character model in at once rather than separate cosmetics. So it's almost I need to like have a section for like full outfits. Like an outfit section. And then that would just change the entire model. I could be wrong. Maybe they are separating it into different things, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, so the bomb is going to be interesting because the timer needs to be replicated. It needs to spawn in at the same time for everybody. Rari. So maybe for the server, we give him a longer fuse time, like 4 seconds, but for clients, it's a bit different. Because they need to receive that the object was spawned in. Can you replicate a timer? Can a timer be replicated? I'm gonna guess maybe in C++. Wait, can a timer handle be replicated? I wonder. Hmm. You could start by installing it. It's just, dude, the thing is, I don't know if I have the energy to learn C# and then an entirely different engine, which then means I'm gonna have to learn completely different ways of doing things and stuff like that. Like, is it worth it? Honestly, I don't think so. Oh, shit. Okay. Just use visual scripting in Unity. Replicate the has started boolean and has exploded boolean. Client side visual can be off by a bit. We can assume that if when the bomb is spawned, it has already started, so we probably won't need a Boolean for that. I'm just wondering if a timer handle is replicable. Like, I'm curious if this can be replicated. And like, does this give us the actual like position of where the timer is at? Because that could be really interesting. That could be really, really interesting. That's my only thing that I'm curious about, is if the timer handle can be a replicated property. I don't know if it can be. I have some ideas of how we could replicate the actual time of it. But of course, the actual time of it would probably just be a here's how I'm thinking we would do it. We would have the replicated thing that would be like the start time. And then the start time, no matter when the bomb spawns in, it'll start at the exact time that it needs to start at. And then that would probably be the way to make it so the bomb explodes at the exact same time for everybody. So it'd be kind of client predicted. Why not save the time it should explode? That's another way we could go about it. Either way, we'd save a time, right? We would save a server time probably. And then the server time would give us the most accurate result for this. I'm just curious about a timer handle, if that can be replicated. Curious. It's just a struct. Time handle is just an integer, it's not a struct. Well, it's a handle. If I remember correctly, handles are a struct. Handles are weird as well, though, because like you can't really utilize it. They're what are they again? They're like a pointer to something else. Okay, so let's just do explode time. This will be a float. And then we'll make this replicated. Actually, we'll make it Do we want it to be replicated or rep notify? Replicated or rep notify? Rep notify. It won't change state. But when someone gets into the zone, we'd probably want the fuse to be at the right time. Hey, peace out, Gil. Well, yeah, it's a struct. I forget how handles are like defined though. A handle is like a... Because I remember I was struggling with that when I was trying to learn gameplay ability system. Because I saw the handle in a bunch of places and I was like, what the fuck is a handle? And it's like a handle is pointing to like a piece of data or something, if I remember correctly, and I still don't understand it to this day. I still do not understand it at all. Okay, so explode time is there a server time. No, I want... Returns the simulated time seconds on the server will be synchronized on client and server. Yeah, this is the one, baby. This is the one. This is the one. So we'll get the server world time seconds. And then this, essentially the explode time will be the server world time seconds. We set a timer. And the timer use game time. The problem with using game time, unless there's a game state game time, yeah, this isn't going to work for us because game time since creation, I believe, is local. Get game time in seconds. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is also local. I don't think this is... Can I read this? It says reading. Oh, unable to find source file. Great, good stuff. Unless, can I go to the Kismet system library? Nope. This might also be local, which is why I'm using server world time seconds. That being said, we're not using any pausing or anything like that, so we should be fine. Okay, so we take the server time in seconds. And then we take the explode time. So it'd actually be the explode time minus server world time seconds. And then that'll give us... So let's say the explode time is at 300, and our current game time is at 296. It'd be 300 minus 296. However, the game time is over the value. It'd be 300 minus whatever. So if this is less than 0, we're actually just not going to, because this would be more than 0, then allow the timer to go off. Basically, if someone somehow gets into the zone right when it explodes, I guess we won't make it explode for them. Because then at that point, we might run into some issues, which we'd rather not run into. So that'll be the time. Event begin play. Let me see here. Begin play. Okay. We'll call this on private. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, this one is actually more replicated, which is nice, or should be. This should be very similar between client and server. So we should have the exact number or value as to when this should explode. Let's just start with a emitter. We'll just start with an emitter. And then that will be a good starting point. Let's do, for now, let's just set it to 10. Of course, though, we want to change that when it actually spawns in, but just to see what it looks like. Okay, now let's lower it because I don't have that much patience. Let's see with all the clients. So even with latency, we should see the explosion go off at the exact same time across all clients, or at least very similar timing. That's the goal. We should see this occur. Okay, it did. However, it didn't play the particle effect on the other clients. Why not? Which means the destroy actor went through, but the spawn emitter didn't, which... Maybe it's being destroyed too soon. I know I'm going to use a delay. This is not the way I'm actually going to do it, but... I think what's going on is it's destroying on client side too soon, and then it's not receiving... information. What? Wait, what? Hold on. What if we just don't destroy it? Wow, that was extremely delayed. I was hoping that this would be synced. But I don't think it is. Is there another factor I have to take into account here? Get server world time seconds. So the clients are spawning in a lot later than the bomb, right? That's that delay that's occurring. Technically, we'd want that to be the same. What? Let's see something. Zero. Server world time 1.1 and 0.65. Explode time, game time, minus current world time. Yeah. Weird. Run timer only on the server, and when done, trigger multicast RPC for the effect. The only problem, so if we do a multicast RPC without doing some level of client prediction, the explosion will occur on the server, and then the clients will receive it slightly after. Not a huge problem, but I prefer the explosion to go off the exact same time, or at least very similar for everybody. Because then what ends up happening is the server explodes, screams in VoIP, and then everybody else hears him explode and then sees it after the, you know what I mean? So by putting in an element of client prediction by using game time, we can have the explosion happening at a very similar timing for everybody, rather than running multicast RPCs. Which, sure, we can do some multicast RPCs, but I'd prefer if we didn't have to. What I'm kind of confused by is, I guess... Do I need to get game time since creation? Game time since creation. What does that value give us? 0.75, which is not correct. Crimson acting like he has any idea what he's talking about, just throwing around smart buzzwords. No, what do you mean? Arrgh. What do you mean? So what does this give us? 6, 5.1, 2, 5.3. Wait, actually, why is client 2 receiving a longer number? Wait a fucking second. Maybe the time isn't the same because the clients take a bit more to load. Right, which is why I'm assuming this, because it's synchronized, should be giving us the right fucking time, but it's not. It's not. Am I doing this timer wrong? We test the bomb with like 15 to 20 seconds just once. Yeah. Do like 12 seconds. I don't think it's gonna fix anything though. It's just gonna... See, the time that they load in, I think is way too, like, it says 11.2, but I'm pretty sure that's like way less. It should be like way less. The number should be way lower. So maybe event begin play is not the right call. I was really hoping that the server world time seconds would give us the right number, but I don't think it is. No, that's not a good idea. It could just, let's do this then. Maybe it's the fact that it's in the world by default. I do have a server actor spawner, and then in here we can spawn the thing. Okay. It might just be the fact that having the actor in the world by default, this is not the play. And that might just be causing issues. Either way, this is going to be spawned dynamically anyways, so... What? Why did client 2 get a really, really delayed version? It's pretty accurate. Now, instead of doing it through there, what if we do it with the briefcase? Let's get the briefcase spawning it in. Boolean, spawn bomb. Wait, no, let's do something different. If this is not more than 0, let's make it, let's just reuse number of items. We'll make it so number of items, if it's -1, then it's a bomb. Random bool with weight. There we go. 10% chance it's a bomb. I think that's a pretty good number. But for now, let's just override this so it happens always. And by always, I mean put this here. Okay, true and false, do that. Okay, number of items, -1. Now when it breaks open, server container take damage, damage amount. Items in container. We're gonna do this instead. Number of items, this is replicated, which technically doesn't need to be, but in this case, because of the bomb, we need it anyway, so I'm glad that we're replicating it actually, because I need it. I need it! I need it! I need it! If this is equal to -1. Spun a bomb. Call it the boom ball. It's a Christmas ornament. It's just a Christmas ornament. You know what I mean? It's just a Christmas ornament. It's just a Christmas ornament, you know. Yeah, it's just a Christmas ornament. So we need to expose this timer. And expose on spawn. Otherwise, we don't get what we want. So it's gonna be this plus 4. Okay. Okay. My only worry is that it spawns incorrectly. Also, I gotta remember to turn on simulate physics on this. Angular dampening, let's turn that on. Okay. So now if the player breaks this open, bomb. Hey, that looked pretty accurate to me. That looked like exact same timing. That looked like exact same timing to me. Let me move it a little bit farther. Very, very close. Very, very close. Like, I think that's more than enough. Multiplayer is solved. We have solved multiplayer. It's like super close. I think it's fine. Like, you gotta remember, even VoIP has latency. Like, even talking in VoIP has a latency. So I think we should be fine. Well, there's only one thing to do now. There's only one thing to do now, chat. Play sound at location. Explosion. Okay, this might be really loud. So, I'm gonna lower the volume of it. End stream? Brother, it's only been 2 hours. What do you mean, end stream? Looks very cool. Could you tell me a little bit about the game? It's a co-op survival horror friendslop type of game. Essentially, the players are train operators on a monster train. You have to keep the train running by feeding the engine and repairing parts of the train periodically. Can you check first thing in your begin play if the game state is null? Just check that I particularly hold loading screen while it's null. It takes like a second for it to go in. Begin play if game state is null. Like the begin play of the bomb or begin play of... begin play where? I would imagine clients probably take... clients might take a little bit longer to retrieve the game state. I actually don't know at what point the game state loads in when a client loads into a lobby. I feel like that has to be one of the like first few things. But yeah, loading screen is going to be a hard one, I feel like. Loading screens in general are kind of annoying. Loading screens in general are kind of annoying. So let's do this. We're going to set the visibility of the static mesh to nothing. And then we're going to set a lifespan to like 2 seconds from now or 1 second from now. That should allow this to still play on clients without an issue. Hopefully. That seemed pretty damn good, I think. I'm just going to increase the scale of this particle effect for now because I don't have any other particle effects. The explosion. Next up, we need to launch all physics actors in the nearby vicinity. We need to damage players and maybe turn on their ragdoll too. Error. Has a slight, very slight delay on the players. That I think is not a huge deal. Ideally, I would have liked this to be like instantaneous, right? Like, you know, like this to be like exactly synced up to other clients, but I think there's only so much I can do. Hold on. How long have I been developing the game? I don't know, probably 2 months. 2 months or so now, I think. I guess essentially since the beginning of the year. Slightly before the beginning of the year. So a little over 2 months. Okay, so play the sound, set the visibility, set the lifespan. Probably also turn off collision altogether. Even in that 1 second, maybe someone gets confused and they pick it up. I don't know why, but you know. Yeah, we'll do camera shake. We'll do. Let's get a little to-do list in here. Camera shake, launch physics actors in sphere radius. Damage any actors nearby, including players, ragdoll players, maybe. And then camera shake, launch physics actors in sphere radius, damage any actors nearby, ragdoll players. Okay. Game dev discovers commenting, uses comments as a to-do list. I don't know. Train camera shake. I need a camera shake. Oh, great. I need to make one. I was hoping that there'd be one that already exists, but I guess not. Should I put this in objects? I guess. Whatever. Camera shake. Yeah, we probably want the default legacy camera shake. Okay, camera shake, explode. Oscillation duration. Let's do like 0.6, 0.7. I actually don't know how I want to animate this. If you only allow a single instance of the shake class to play at any given time, subsequent attempts to play the shake will simply restart the timer. I don't know if that's necessary. Okay, well, let's just slap some shit in here. We'll just do pitch. Maybe a little bit of roll. And then maybe some X and Y movement. Fuck it. All good. Let's do that. Explode camera shake. Inner radius are ignored. No, we don't want to do that. Outer radius. Let's do 600, I suppose. Change the rotation of the shake to point towards epicenter instead of row. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. All right. Everybody brace. We might all puke. Everybody brace. Puking might ensue. I didn't see shit. I didn't see shit. I threw up. Brother, nothing happened, man. Not a single thing happened. Let's increase the duration, maybe. I saw something. Something happened. Sure. Sure. Maybe sine wave isn't what we want. Maybe we want like noise or something for some of these, but let's just get an initial effect for this. Watch out, watch out, watch out! Yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, it looks alright. We don't need it to last that long. I don't know if the... What is this fall off? Effects fall off of effect as it nears, like... Do we want it to be a value close to the outer radius? I don't know. So let's do it so it's like... Okay, so we stay here, but then the other clients are farther away. I don't know if fall off... I don't know what this number is supposed to be, and I'm confused. Is one, like, the intensity fall off? Like, how intense the fall off is? Man, I hate... Sometimes the documentation of this fucking poopy engine really pisses me off sometimes. Okay, so it was intense for me, but it was kind of soft for them. I think that's okay. We're gonna do like 1250. I think this is like an intensity slider. I don't know. Oh, great. I can't look at the code, of course. Love that. All right. I think it's good. I kind of want to increase the blend out time. So it like blends in very quickly, but then blends out over time. Yes. Okay. Let's try ragdolling the player when they get hit by it. If they're within a certain radius. Okay, let's try that next. Nothing will go wrong? Yeah, no, nothing. No, nothing. Nothing will go wrong. I don't know where I put the ragdoll system, though. Ragdoll state changed. So that is happening inside of our movement component. So I gotta look at the code for this bad boy. Aha! Ragdoll. True ragdolling. Shit. I'm using get velocity to spawn the ragdoll, which I'm a little concerned about. Because I would like to like feed a velocity value in there. Yeah, okay. Let's do this. Maybe not. Yeah, sure, velocity change. Okay, so crouch movement. Oh shit. Okay, so let's do distance. This is going to happen locally, essentially. This is happening locally. So we're going to have to cast our character. This is just, unfortunately, par for the course. Par for the course? Par for the course. Yeah, sure. Cast to our player character. Get the GMC movement component. And then start ragdoll. Now, we need to check if we are within distance to actually start the ragdoll. Let's also do sequence here, set lifespan. Technically, I should only be doing this from the server, but that's okay. Here we're going to check distance between player pawn and this. If it is less than or equal to, I don't know, 600 units. Then we'll do an impulse. And then we'll do a little bit of this. Fine lookout rotation. And then we're going to do a forward vector. And then we'll multiply that with magnitude, or whatever the word would be for this. Let's do 5,000. That might be a bit too much, but we just need to see if this works. All right, just need to see if this works on all the clients. Okay, everybody ready? Does everybody have their safety hard hat on? You're gonna need it. I think I flew in the wrong direction. Start location, pawn should be facing that. What the hell, man? Why did he go in the wrong direction? What? Huh. Why did he go in the opposite direction? Hold on, I need to check this. Well, it worked. It did work. It did work. Maybe a little too well. Maybe a little too well. So wait, hold on. Why is it that the other... What the hell? Okay, so funny enough, it's working on the server. For some reason, it's not working well on the clients. And ragdolling... Oh, shit. Okay, ragdolling on the clients is going to be a bit stupid. Okay, Oh, man. Oh, that's really shit. Okay. Where do I do that again? Pre-ragdoll velocity. Get the velocity of the GMC movement component pre-ragdoll velocity. I don't think this needs to be replicated. Shit. I really hate having this actor have to spawn in when they activate the ragdoll. We should honestly spawn this in and give it to the player immediately, and then give ownership to them so that they can quickly activate it. Because this is not good. I think the problem is the spawn velocity. It's not being replicated. Although this is replicated. New velocity is added to the existing velocity. Sure. This is only happening on server side, which means this value is not being sent properly. Does that have to be replicated? No, that doesn't make any sense. Well, oh. Is this getting the right? No, it should be. It should be getting the right. Is this correct? I don't even know. It might not be reading the velocity because the velocity happens instantaneously client side, and then it's not sending that information correctly. I don't know. All right, guys, good luck. They definitely aren't getting launched. Like, look at these stupid fucks. Oh, I see what wait, what? Wait, huh? Is he able to go through the door? Oh, he just goes through the door. Why did he go through the door? It's kind of funny. All right, so that velocity information is not being sent. That really sucks. Yeah, honestly, I think our solution is the player ragdoll should be spawned in at all times and ready for use for the client. That might be our solution to our ragdoll problem. So I might not focus on this too much. It looks fun on the server, which is exactly, you know, it's good. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the solution for the clients because the ragdoll has some work to be done. But I think it looks funny. It looks funny on the server. Like, we get launched and shit, you know? I think that looks great. Arr. They are getting ragdolled, so that's good. Right? I'd say that's good. It's just we need to give, I think we need to give more client authority when they go ragdoll. Like when they get launched. So then that way it's more instantaneous. So I think on begin play, we'll spawn. So for those that are confused, I had to come up with a really stupid way to do their ragdoll. they get attached to an actor that is spawned on the server that's actually ragdolling, and then that's how it works. But because we're spawning that actor when they get ragdolled, they have to wait on the server to spawn the actor, and then... Now, the only reason I could not do it the traditional way is because this is client authoritative movement. So client authoritative movement is actually not as good as I perceived it to be. It actually causes... One would think it would solve a lot of problems. It actually does not. There's a weird conundrum where clients can drag the server around when they go ragdoll, like this. But they cannot drag each other around, nor can the server drag the clients. So it's almost like the clients have authority over the server, but the server does not, and the server and the clients don't. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Anyways, we came up with a solution. However, it requires us to spawn a separate actor for when they go ragdoll. So, all we need to do is maybe spawn this in for every player all the time. So then that way we can immediately call functions to it when they need it. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Exactly, exactly, exactly. And it works, like you can see, like we're dragging them around. They can drag each other around while dragging themselves around. Watch this. Oh wait, no, they can drag themselves. Look at this. Watch this. I'm fucking out of here, dude. Do they get launched by the Steam? Because I'm pretty sure the Steam is supposed to impulse them. We have a few things we still need a few kinks to flesh out still. We still got a few kinks to flesh out. Not a huge deal, but... yeah. Alright. Well, it's a start. We need to damage the players. How do I deal damage again? No. I think damage is also client authority. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Also, the impulse should be different based on how close you are to the bomb. So we'll have to do that as well. I should probably do that right now. Alright. Fine. Alright, fine. I should also probably do a line trace so you can hide behind a wall, but whatever, we'll do that later. So, less than or equal to 600. Let's do 800. And then, how much do I divide this by if I want 800 to be 1,000? You know what? Just map range. Don't care. Fuck it. So 0 to 800 will be 1,000 to 0. And that will be the intensity. Actually, let's do as a minimum 100. 100 impulse. I think that'll be fine. Okay, so we got that. Now we just need to deal damage. So less than or equal to 800. We'll then deal damage. So we start the ragdoll and then we deal damage. Okay. I forget how to deal damage. Let me look at the furnace. Because the furnace has a thing. Furnace fire. Damage actor. Is that literally it? We just damage them? There's no way that's it. The actor forward vector. What the fuck is that? That's literally it. That's all we do to damage. Okay, well, sure. The impulse, we don't want an impulse because we already do the impulsing. Damage fire. Damage type, explosion. Explosion. Okay, and then the damage amount, we want this based off of, again, the distance. So 0 to 800 will be, I don't know, how much damage are we dealing? How much health do we even have? What's the max health? Is it 100? 100. I don't know, I feel like this should deal a considerable amount of damage if this hits you, right? Especially if you're like right on it, which is like 0. So let's do 80 damage. And then if you're just 800, let's just do 5 damage. Or 3. You're like right on the edge. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get this guy a little bit farther away, maybe in the corner. This guy's really close up. You know, also because of physics, the bomb might go somewhere we don't want it to go. That's fine. Okay, there we go. Alright, so the guy closest took the most damage, the guy farther away took less damage. Yo, we're gaming. This is turning into a video game. Hey, I'm just saying, it's turning into a video game. 800 units is actually pretty far away. Maybe that's too much. Less than or equal to 800. Maybe we make it so you can ragdoll if you're a little bit farther away, but maybe it needs to be a certain amount of units to actually deal like actual damage. So let's do 600. So if you're 600 units away, then it doesn't deal damage. You still get ragdolled though. So I feel like that's okay. I feel like having a little... Let's do 500. How many units is 500 actually? 6 meters, right? Hold on, let me see in top down. So this is the train. If an explosion goes off in the middle, 600 units. That's a considerable range, actually. To take a little bit of damage at the very least. I'm okay with that. That basically means if you are like, if the bomb goes off right in the middle here, if you are within the radius. Now, I am going to make it so if you don't see the bomb anymore, or there's no part of your limbs that would get hit by it, I'll probably make it so you don't get hit by it, of course. I'm not that crazy of a game developer, come on. Uh-oh. Guys, watch out! So I basically did not get hit by that. At all. I didn't even get ragdolled. I think that's... Where was it? Was it on the window ledge there? For making a game unheard of. The game is coming together, man. It's starting to feel like an actual video game. Just this one stupid element has actually started to make it feel like a video game. Uh-oh. I lost all my stuff. Oh my god, the players are still ragdolled. Wait, there's a guy right here. Supposedly. Uh-oh. Remind me to fix that. Supposedly there's a guy right around here somewhere. Apparently. He's not here, though. Oculus, how's it going? Thanks for the raid, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How'd your stream go? I hope it went well. We're working on a Christmas ornament. One that is extremely explosive. Hold on. Hold on, this one's for you, chat. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Watch, hold on. Alright, hold on. This is the one. Alright, never mind. Never mind. I'm not even trying anymore. Lost in animation tech hell. Ah, classic. The classic. I'm gonna really try to not put too much animation in this project, because it's gonna be hell on earth. You failed, so 5 push-ups. Anyways, welcome to my stream. My chat hates me. It's a classic day. Gotta rest the brain. Hey, I completely understand, man. Especially after doing some animation tech stuff. Thank you again for the raid, dude. Thank you again. Now I gotta do 5 push-ups. All right. What's some other things that we needed for the boom? The Christmas ornament, I mean. Let's see here. Camera shake, launch physics actors. Oh, right. We got to launch physics actors as well. So we're launching the player character, but now we need to launch objects. That might get really iffy. So I'm just going to, if I run it on clients as well, we should be able to get all physics actors, even ones that are owned by other characters. I think. Actor class filter? Probably none. This one, probably just physics bodies. And maybe interactable? Maybe world dynamic? I think. Let's do get actor location. With a sphere radius of 600. Actually, 750. Okay. Launch. Oh, shit. Impulse. Oh, shit. Root component. Which I think is a scene component. And then we should be able to... Huh. Is this type actor? Yeah. Add impulse to a primitive component. Do I maybe sphere overlap components? I would assume this is much more expensive than this one. Okay, if I do that, it should be an array of primitives. Not exactly the most ideal thing in the world, but let's see if that'll work. Impulse will be this, except instead of the pawn, it'll be the... world location of the primitive that we are launching. And then let's multiply this by, well, we need to get the distance. Distance vector. So we're doing 750. 1,000 might be a bit much. So let's do 800 to 50. And then that'll be our impulse. So this should now launch any physics actors that are nearby. Let's fill up this room with a bunch of shit. Okay, we got 2 actors here. Let's get one of the clients to pick up one of these things, just because we want to test if that'll work. And then let's get the client to just break the suitcase. Fuck it. Actually, let's get another client to break the suitcase. I think everything got launched. It kind of looks like everything got launched. Yeah, looks like it, even though some of them were owned by a different client. All right, okay. Hey, stand up, man. Come on. Ugh. All right, fine. What the? Huh. Well, now the... Oh, there we go. I should probably fix that. Probably should fix... Why did that happen? Why did he... You know what? Listen, I don't know what happened. Can I throw this guy? Okay, I can. I can do that. All right, things are looking good. Of course, the ragdoll needs to be improved, but the bomb is good. It's working. Okay, so now let's make it so it's back to the original code where it has a chance of becoming... a 10% chance of becoming an explosive. I guess actually 10% is pretty low considering that there is only a small percentage chance it has nothing. So actually maybe we increase this 30% chance if there's no items. Maybe even 40% chance, because we have to remember there's a chance that it's not even 0 items. What's the likelihood here? Is this a 25% chance? I was so fucking bad when it came to like calculating chance or likelihood or whatever the word is, whatever the mathematical word for it was. So 0 to 3, that's 25% chance of being 0, right? 25% chance of being 0, but then there's only a 40% chance of it being a bomb. What's the math for that? What would be the math for that? One would say it's 0.4 times 0.25, but I'm pretty sure that's not correct. It's probably something like, I don't know. This is probably a 10% chance right here of it being a bomb. All right, so on that note, let's see how many suitcases does it take to get the right one. This has something inside of it. Yep. This has something inside of it too. Yeah, this has something inside of it too. Alright, well, we got lucky this time around. Oh. This is empty, but is it a... Nope. So yeah, the likelihood of you finding a bomb, pretty low. So maybe we oh. Empty. So as long as you listen for the audio cues, you won't spawn them. Oh, shit! Okay, so that like dealt no damage to me, but I still flew away. That feels really good. I'm really happy with this so far. Now, we need to put... What? Another one? What the fuck? Okay, come on, man. That's fucked up, man. Jeez. This is similar to Repo? It is very inspired by Repo, yeah. Repo, Lethal Company, etc., etc. Yeah, very, very inspired for sure. All right, cool. That's actually a pretty good percentage. The fact that we got two of them, so I think that's fine. Very cool. It works, and it should work in multiplayer as well. So we're all good there. Or are we? We should maybe double check to make sure that it is working in multiplayer, but I'm pretty sure it should. Nope, there was nothing in that one. Yeah, these are items. I hate how you can drag it into the floor, and for some reason, when there are other clients, it works. Can you do co-op and just blueprints? You can, and I'm doing a lot of my prototyping in blueprints, but I'm probably going to be shifting quite a bit of it to C++ at some point. But you could definitely do a bunch of it in blueprint, for sure. Of course, it just depends on the complexity of how you're doing things. Okay. We got a bomb. A bomb. I closed my Trello for some reason. What's the game even about? It's a co-op survival horror, friendslop type of game, where you are essentially a train operator that has to keep a monster train running by feeding it fuel and repairing parts of it. All right, bomb item done. Put that in the needs testing. Friendslop is my genre. Nice to see your streamer making one. I just felt like it was a really good opportunity to learn multiplayer and co-op and networking in a kind of, I guess, not so stressful environment. Since it's it's a little bit more of like a looser genre. Obviously, it has to be quality. It's, we don't want players disconnecting randomly and all that kind of stuff, of course. But I feel like it's a good genre to kind of get into, to learn multiplayer and stuff. So that's the biggest thing, I would say. Okay. We got the bomb in. Cool. Hell yeah. It's in the game. Now, I probably will have to put a task in here to spawn, player ragdoll, and start. Okay. That should be a big improvement for the ragdolling whenever I get around to it. The particles, do I make them in Blender or Unreal? Mostly Unreal. And as you mention it, I do need to put some a spark effect on the bomb. Shit. I guess we could just use just a really basic particle. Maybe just sparks. Let's do this. I should be able to modify the color of this. This is spawning way too many. 900? Brother. Relax. Hopefully I can change the color. So this is red, we'll make it, or it's blue. Right now we'll make it red. Maybe orange. I'm still seeing some blue. I don't know about you guys. I think that's... Oh, there's a parameter here. Okay. I don't think we're gonna make this follow the length of the bomb yet. For now, let's just get something in. I wouldn't mind getting maybe a very quick sound effect for it as well. Okay. Maybe still too many sparks flying off. Also, the spark burst is way too, like, enormous. That looks good to me. I don't know about you guys. I feel like that's... Obviously, we'd want it to maybe, like, go down the thing, but I think it looks fine. I think it's a little... still a little big. And also the smoke is huge when you actually think about, like, how small this is. So initial size. Let's do, like, 12 to 6. Probably reduce this again. Okay, I think that looks fun. I think that looks fun. We need a sound effect as well. What? Oh, this one might be a bomb. Ah! Oh, I hate how it kind of clips through the ground, but I think it's great. Oh, I love that. I think that looks great. That looks good. It's just the fact that it's, maybe I make it bottom heavy. So that it tends to maybe, face upward more often. Center of mass offset. Let's do like minus 35. I don't know if that would actually work, but let's try it out. What made you want to make a friendslop game? I don't know. I was interested in it. I love watching like streamers and people play it. I also think it's a pretty like fun genre to get into for multiplayer. That's like not too crazy like serious, but it's also like I think a good genre that people will actually just be interested in it rather than like a couch co-op game or anything like that. I feel like it's a genre that people might, you know, be interested in actually picking up and playing with friends and whatnot. So from a business standpoint, I feel like that's it's a good genre to get into. Yeah, the chance of you seeing a bomb is not zero by any means. But it's not going to happen often. Which I think is good. It gives it more value. Although I will say, once you find out the difference in sound when it comes to something being like a briefcase being empty, I feel like players are just not going to open the one that's empty. Let me just spawn it in, just so I can see what it looks like. This is gonna take way too long. All right, it's bottom heavy, so then you can see the fuse. Yes. Yeah. Seems to be doing well to me. It gives me like game jam vibes, just much higher scope and polish. Friendslop, that is. I think, yeah, like a lot of the focus does seem to be like a lot simpler gameplay, which has been a really weird. Oh, there it is. Oh, but then it's just. It's a lot like simpler gameplay, and it's kind of a weird feeling as a designer after working on a game like Suit for Hire, which has so many like moving parts. It's like the core of the game is almost there, which is a weird feeling. It's not, but almost there, kind of. There's still a lot to work on still, but it's going to be interesting to play test this. Because I feel like a lot of the friendslop games, like if we look at Lethal Company, for example, a lot of it comes down to the monster behavior. So obviously I do have to work on the monsters. I do need to get to that, I know. And then the items. I feel like the items are a big part of Lethal Company. It'll be interesting. Making a game like this is a very interesting challenge. Because at its core, it's a relatively simple design. You just drag shit around, you know? That type of thing. Alright, so this is good. It's like very top heavy. It tends to stay upwards. And I think the design is really good. The fuse, when it explodes, does not get set to invisible. Let's just quickly fix that. It's interesting to see how you tackle it coming from your previous game. I'm definitely going to tackle the monsters in a way that I would probably tackle like a traditional action game, which is like each monster has like kind of different behaviors and you would approach them in different ways. I feel like that is a good design because then a lot of the challenge comes from the monsters in some way. Like the maintenance tasks are relatively like straightforward. They're nothing like super crazy or anything. So yeah. Okay, so the question is, if we wanted to make the particle system go from one end to the next, like, I guess the easy way would be start a socket for the start of the rope, and then a socket for the end of the rope. And I guess we'd have to put this on tick. Not the most ideal thing in the world, but not a huge deal either. Am I gonna sculpt them by myself? I have no idea. As you guys know, I am not like a character artist at all, or a creature artist, or anything like that. So it's very likely that I end up having to maybe contract a couple character artists to help me with that. That being said, because we're gonna try to do something low poly, I think we could possibly get away with, you know, we could possibly get away with doing things in a simpler way, like less super detailed, but more so focusing on silhouette and just making them look creepy. Explode time is the actual point at which it explodes. Minus is the amount of time left. Would we need the spawn time of when this thing fucking spawned in? Shit. No, I think we could just divide. It's kind of stupid, but I think we might be able to just divide it. Wait, no, we can use the explode time. Wait, hold on. We take the server world time seconds. I need to turn this into a 0 to 1 value, like an alpha. Let's see here, hold on. I gotta think here. I gotta use my brain. Explode time is always static. Now, ideally, we need, well, I guess, what's the timer of this? Like, how long does it take for it to explode? Is it 5 seconds? I think it's 4 seconds. I think it's 4 seconds before it explodes. Which honestly is a lot of time. This is a lot of time. You have a lot of time. 4 seconds. So we can take the explode time minus 4 seconds, and that's the start time. Okay. And then we take the current time. I think that's right. Yeah, I think so. I think that's right. And then this will give us a 0 to 1 value. Then we set the location of this. And then we set the location to the sockets. of start and end. And then we how do we get a point in between two vectors? Not the middle point. I want from start to end. What would be... Oh, a lerp. I'm dumb. Don't mind me, I'm stupid. So this would actually be 0 to 1. All right, and now the particle system. Wait. Oh, it's because the, oh, I remember now. It's because we, yeah. We set the explode time to something larger. All right. Yes, look at that. Okay, that's working. That's working. Now we just need a fuse sound, which, I don't know if I have one. I don't know if I have a sound effect for a fuse. Fuse? Bomb fuse? Shots cannon fuse. Oh, wait, shit. Wait, hold on. I might. I got just the thing. Let me make it looping. And let me just make it 5 seconds long, because like this is way too long. Watch this. The perfect loop right here. Right here. Ah. Okay, now, let's see. Let's see if it actually is the perfect loop. Is it the perfect loop? It's not the perfect loop, guys. Hold on. Let's just move it back here a little bit. That's the perfect loop. Wait, what the hell? Why is it not snapping to... Alright, fine. Export. Selected audio. Okay. We've got a fuse. All right. Oh, not in there, not in there, not in there. Put that in the right spot, please. Okay. I'm not gonna give this a cue because I'm too lazy. Let's do... What's step attenuation? What's the range of this? 300 to 2000? Yeah, sure. Sure, why not? And then audio. All right. We're so in. We are so in. This should be auto activate. Okay. And then when it explodes, we want to stop. I feel like it'd be fun if the pitch modified as it like reached the end. Do you guys think it would pitch up or would it pitch down? Like would it get deeper as it reaches the like the ending point, or do you think it would like pitch upwards? The sound of the fuse. I also feel like the volume would slowly go out. I feel like that would be fun. So let's do a little something. I'm thinking pitch down. We'll make a pitch down. So we'll do a lerp here. It'll go from 1 to 0.6. I also feel like it'd be fun if the volume slowly dwindled. Now, I wouldn't mind this being a curve, so it's like it curves down, but whatever, fuck it. Oh, wait, shit, I gotta make it looping. Okay, I might have to turn this into a queue. Because I don't think I can set it looping in here. Can I? I'm being lazy. Ah! Okay. Oh, I love that. All right. I do kind of wish that the volume slowly went out at the very end, but I'd want it to be a curve. Like a curve, but I can't be bothered right now. I'm gonna be honest. Whatever. This sounds great. This means that we can throw it out the window. Hurry! You know, that would be the overall gameplay. You probably wanted to like throw it out the train. So I think that'll be fun. Uh-oh. Cool. That's great. What's the error? Just a bunch of simulate physics shit. Oh. I should probably check if the component has simulate physics. So then that way I don't do a bunch of that. Yeah, I kind of just hate warnings. Let's just not deal with that again. Simulating physics. If so, go ahead and do it. That way I don't have to deal with all these errors. Cool. This looks great. Oh. All right. You really don't have a crazy amount of time to react. Which I think is good. At first I thought that it was too short. I think it's the right amount of time. I think it's the right amount of time. Uh-oh. Nothing. Maybe I should make it so this sound effect plays if there's only one item in the suitcase. Because you can really easily tell if nothing's in a briefcase by listening to the sound it makes. Alright, anyways, good stream. I added a Christmas ornament in. It's a very special Christmas ornament. The fuse goes down, albeit it doesn't follow the curvature exactly. But I think it's fun. It adds a really fun element to the game. The fuse doesn't actually go down, but that's fine. Yeah, I feel like that came together pretty well. It just needs a good sound effect. We need a line trace so that if you're behind a solid object, you don't explode. That would probably be a good thing to add in as well. So right now, even if you're behind like a surface, it'll still happen. So. Yeah. Good stream. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. I feel like that was a good addition to the game. I think. I believe so. We have to get these briefcases or suitcases or whatever. We have to get them randomly spawning throughout the world. So that's going to be an interesting task as well. Maybe we spawn them like a traditional item would, as long as there's enough space for it to spawn in. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Putting this into the item pool, I suppose. On that note, though, thanks for dropping by, guys. Monday stream. I'll be back tomorrow for a Tuesday stream. And, yeah, we'll work on more stuff. What are we going to work on? I don't know, probably the energy drink. Maybe the taser. The coal is a pretty easy one. We just have to literally just model something. So maybe we put that in the list for tomorrow. And then, of course, we do need to put in the system for purchasing items. And monsters, of course. We do need to... We need to work on the monsters. I know. We should probably work on that, too. Yeah. Anyways. Good stream. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great day / night. And I'm going to go eat something. I'm really hungry. Yeah. All right. Peace out.